Sa Pilipinas lang talaga naka-invest. Lahat ng assets are based in the Philippine economy, and it's important to diversify to the global market. So, ang good news dyan is we already have access to other markets, banks and mutual fund companies. A lot of them, they offer feeder funds. So, yung feeder funds, mga i-invest sa ibang funds in other countries. The stock market, because I know people who invested in the stock market, and then during the pandemic, when the stock market prices went down, nagpanic and they sold at a loss.
The Philippine stock market has been lagging for many years compared to the US stocks and crypto. How do you deal about those things, yung mga assets na nag-underperform?
Of course, part of diversification is investing in other economies. We've learned that in recent years kasi I've had clients na sa Pilipinas lang talaga naka-invest. Lahat ng assets are based in the Philippine economy, and it's important to diversify to the global market. So, ang good news dyan is we already have access to other markets, banks and mutual fund companies. A lot of them, they offer feeder funds. So, yung feeder funds, mga i-invest sa ibang funds in other countries. There are now online brokers that where we can invest in CFDs. You can invest in, if you're someone who believes in crypto, you can now do that. So don't limit yourself in one economy. Make sure that you diversify towards other markets. So may mga moderate, may mga conservative, moderate, and high-risk investments din naman na based sa ibang markets. But again, make sure that aside from diversification, you also keep your financial goals in mind. Kasi yun talaga yung magdidictate kung saan ka mag-i-invest. So if you're investing for your retirement or anything na long-term na more than 10 years pa yung target date, then that's a good that's a good choice for global market. So kung mag-invest ka sa mga US stocks, mga feeder funds, etc., invest for your long-term goals on those assets. So yun yung rule ko dyan.
Right. So it's really not just about seeing the opportunities in the Philippines, but also you need to explore, especially kung pasok siya sa financial goals. Siguro yung question doon, no, how do you guard yourself from mga investments na medyo sketchy, or ano yung filter mo doon? Kasi 'di ba sabi mo, okay, explore other investments. Paano kung hindi ako masyadong maalam in terms of other investments? How do you guard yourselves na hindi ka masascam?
Well, ang number one rule naman kasi dyan is do not invest in something that you do not understand. So, may mga legit investments na pag hindi mo naintindihan, pwede kang malugi. So, yun legit na yun, no? Pero nalugi ka pa rin. A good example would be the stock market, because I know people who invested in the stock market, and then during the pandemic, when the stock market prices went down, nagpanic and they sold at a loss. So, I told them na hindi pa nila fully na-understand yung behavior ng stock market. And if you really understand how the stock market works, you would have understood na temporary lang yung pagbagsak ng mga prices na yan. It's not because the company is failing, but because there's a pandemic, no? So, never invest in something that you do not understand. So, that's the number one rule. Now, when there's an investment offer sa'yo, the first goal is to understand how it works. Kasi doon pa lang, malalaman mo na kung scam siya or hindi. Usually merong sinasabi na if it's too good to be true, it usually is. Pero kasi sa akin, napaka-vague nun eh. Di ba? Na if it's too good to be true, it probably is. But what if yung pagkaka-explain sa akin, eh, mukhang ano naman siya, it's not too good, no? Parang tama lang, no? So, you have to understand and study how it really works. And then do your due diligence. Siyempre, meron kang check. For example, it makes sense na may mag-o-offer sa'yo ng investment na, oh, this is a farm in, sabihin natin, in Batangas, no? Tapos, you will be investing in a banana tree plantation. Ito yung projected dividends, etc., etc. It makes sense, but you have to do your due diligence. Visit the banana plantation, visit the farm, and then research, do your own numbers sa tama ba itong mga projections na binigay sa akin? Di ba? And see if it is plausible, yung numbers na binibigay sa'yo. So, you research and then, in that case, try to understand how does this business work? And if I invest here, will I really make this much money? Ano ba to? Totoo ba to? So, again, it can be a legit investment. But you have to understand that. But in most cases, yung mga ganon, tinatamad na kasi yung mga tao na mag due diligence. Yung pala, yung banana farm, hindi pa na nag-i-exist. Nilagay nila sa Batangas or somewhere na malayo para hindi mo bisitahin. So, dun siya nagiging scam. And then, of course, sa mga online, pag may mga online investments, isa sa mga una ko tinitingnan, ano yung pangalan ng company, saan yung opisina? Kasi ang daming online investments na tinatanong sa akin, sir, okay po ba maglagay dito? Okay po ba maglagay dito? And red flag na kagad sa akin eh, wala man lang about us yung website. Wala man lang physical office. Kasi it's so easy to put up a website right now. But having a physical office is one sign, not really a sure sign, but one sign na mukhang legit ito. So the next step is to check out that address. If it's in the Philippines, probably you should visit that address and look around. Especially dun sa office, kung meron bang nakalagay na business permit, etc. Diba? Kung legal sila. It's so easy to say na you check the legality of the business, but to be honest, in recent years, it's so easy to fake those legal documents. It's so easy to register a legit business and then use that dun sa fake na business. So at the end of the day, it's really about understanding how your money will grow and checking if this is plausible, kung totoo yan. Kasi one of the more popular scams before was yung mGoldex, di ba? Maraming nang-away ng mga tao sa mga, inaway kami mga financial planners noon nung sa mGoldex. But if you think about it, I challenge people mag-i-invest ka sa gold, tapos every month ito yung makukuha mo. So hindi ko question yung laki ng makukuha nila. Ang tanong ko sa kanila is, saan nila kinukuha yung profit mo? So sabi nila, binabuy and sell nila yung gold. So I show them, ito yung historical prices ng gold. You'll see that it's just sideways. So yes, may up, may down, may up and down. Paano pag down? So how can you be sure na may bibigay pa rin nila yung guaranteed return nila? Di ba? So that's how I help people understand kung scam ba to o hindi. I don't really tell them na, naku, scam ka yan. But I have to justify. And you can only justify those things by actually studying the business and finding the loophole. Of course, not everyone will have the skills and even the time to do those. So again, if it's something that you think na mahirapan ka, you can always ask for help. So set your ego aside. Minsan, pride yung umiiral eh. Post on social media, ask someone na, narinig niyo ba to? Kasi gusto ko mag-invest eh. Alam mo yun, there will always be people who will be willing to help and there are professionals and experts that you can consult. kesa naman mawala ka ng pera. So, number 1 rule, never invest in something that you do not understand. And number 2, before investing, make sure na mag-due diligence ka dun sa business na talagang registered siya, logical or reasonable yung returns mo, and alam mo, the business is something that actually works that way, no? Hindi sila nagbibigay ng mga vague statements as parang basta ganyan talaga yan eh.
Tiwala na lang, gagana yan.
Hindi pwede gano'n. Lagi ko naririnig yan eh. Sila yung expert dyan, ayoko na intindihin, basta sila na bahala dyan. Nako, number 1 sign yan na mang-i-scam yan, no? Yeah.